Watch you guys, today we're taking a look at some free security tools everyone needs on their computer and they should be using them in 2023. They're a great bit of kit and I'm going to show you exactly which ones I would put onto my PC. First off is Autoruns by Microsoft. You can download this for free and you can run it on your PC and it's going to detect every program that is installed on your computer, not just your startup programs, but all your extensions and stuff that's been added into the context menu and other things like that. It's going to find all of these applications on your PC and it's going to allow you to control them and take them off the system or remove them. And this includes bloatware and other things like that that comes pre-installed with Windows. And you can use this program to actually scan these actual files as well to see whether they've got any malicious intent on your system. So what you can do here is, you can see I've got it open already and it's giving me a long list of stuff here and they've got check marks in them. You can uncheck them if you want to, the ones you don't want, and you can delete. Just be very careful because it is a very powerful tool. It does have everything up the top, log on and Explorer, Internet Explorer, scheduled tasks here, which is another area. And you can see here, there's one here in the red that's showing up red, not verified. And this is how you can weed out your files to find out whether they are malicious or not. And maybe you've installed something and you want to now investigate, and you can use this button up here, which will add virus total to the actual list and be able to automatically scan these files. And you can then make that decision whether you want these on your system or not, and whether you want to remove them. So you can see here, once you agree to their terms and conditions for virus total, it's going to give you a little tiny marker here. And you can see there's already one out of 75 here. So you'll be able to click on this and it will take you to virus total and you'll see exactly what that file is and whether you want it on your system. Now, some of these are false positives, so you don't have to worry too much. And just take a look at the reputation of it with the other manufacturers here like Kaspersky and Windows Defender and McAfee, Norton and all those, because they will give you a true representation of whether this file is malicious or not. So bear that in mind as well. You can right click on this and delete if you want to. You can uninstall it in the normal way, or you can just weed it out and find out where it's living and basically do some more investigation from this location. So it's a really powerful tool for people that may be downloading stuff all the time and they want to find out whether their system is infected, maybe their system is running slow, and you can use tools like this to remove that sort of nasty stuff off your PC. So it uses a color band system here, yellow and red, and this will give you an idea of the risk factor here. Some of the red ones you want to investigate those a little bit more, and some of the yellow ones you can investigate. Some of these are not verified, so you can check them out and you'll be able to know exactly what these files are. You can see HW info is in yellow here, and there's a bunch of other stuff on here as well, which you can then take a look at. So that is the Autoruns, a really super powerful bit of kit. Again, you can investigate driver areas, codecs, boot execute, and places like that. You can see here, Dr. Hardware, this is showing up as not verified and it's red. And this was an application you can download for free. And again, you can see this one is red, and you might want to remove this from your PC, or you might want to investigate a little bit further and find out what the actual file is and what it's actually doing on your system. And I'll show you other ways to investigate this a little bit more later on in the video. So let's take a look at tool number 2, which is called Process Explorer. Now, if you want all of the tools of this family, you can download this sysinternals suite, which is basically got all of the tools that Microsoft have to offer. And this is another great tool which you can use to investigate your system. It's basically like Task Manager, but much more advanced. And you can have a deep look of all the files and processes that are running on the system. And again, you can use Virus Total to cross-reference some of these files and what they're doing on the system. This is how you can weed out nasty malware that's managed to wiggle into your operating system and starting to do nasty things in the background. You can then find these files and you can delete them. You can also cross-reference them on the website here. As you can see here, I'm just checking this out to find out what this is. I already know what this file is. I'm just giving you an example of what you can actually do on your system. So down here, you would see all of the processes running here. You've got a bunch of little tools and tabs up the top, which you can use. If you want to see a more dedicated video on this, let me know in the comment section below. I have made videos on this many years ago, but if you want to see more refreshed ones, let me know and I'll be happy to help. You can kill the process tree, you can restart, and you can also suspend, which means putting it to sleep and stops it restarting itself. That's the method of removing these, because sometimes when you kill the process, a malware will automatically sometimes restart itself, whereas if you put it into sleep, it will basically allow you to be able to investigate further or suspend it. Again, you can take a look down here to find out what processes are using up all of your system resources. And this is normally when malware is most active on your system. It will be using either high memory usage or high CPU usage, and you can weed them out and check it out on VirusTotal to see whether that is a malicious file. And this is a really useful bit of kit in conjunction with Autoruns. And I would definitely be using this on a system if I had some sort of infection, and it will be very useful for removing those nasty files. You can also explore the file itself and give you more information about that file, and you can investigate even deeper. And again, going down here, you can see the strings and also the TCP/IP, the security and environment and threads and image. All this information will be listed when you click on the actual file. Whether you're a PC repair tech, a home user, or whether you like to analyze systems and malware, you can use these programs to do that. It's very useful. When you click on anything like this, it will give you a right-click context menu. You can click on also a file and read out all of the information down below if you have all of this information here, which is your threads, DLLs, and handles all down here, and it will give you all of the locations what this file is related to. So it's quite useful. So that is the Process Explorer. Definitely download that one and keep that on your system. And you can also replace the Task Manager inside Windows with this, and it's an option up the top where you can use this instead of the Task Manager that comes built in on Windows. It's completely reversible and it's definitely worth considering. Okay, so let's move on to number 3, which is called PE Studio. It's a free download, and this is going to be great if you want to analyze executable files. So I've got that little program here called Dr. Hardware. I can just drag that into the program and it will unpack it and let me see what's inside here. This will analyze the file and give me some information about the file with VirusTotal. It's going to be able to detect any signatures, detect any hard-coded URLs or IP addresses. Just gives you a good breakdown of what's actually the main file was made of and what it's doing. And if it's calling home and anything like that, you can take a look inside here. You're going to need to understand a little bit about this sort of stuff if you're going to be using these sort of files. But basically, it is quite a useful little program to have if you're into that sort of thing. So maybe someone's give you a file and they want you to open it and use it. You can always drop it into here and quickly check to see if it flags up whether it's got any sort of malicious intent. And you can always decide whether you want to run it or not. It's just basically going to give you some useful information. Next up, I'm going to run through a few little tools here which are pretty useful, which is Farbar recovery scanning tool. This is quite an old tool, but it's quite a useful little tool when you're weeding out malware or you want to find traces of malware on the system and you've run a scan. This will be quite useful. It's good at finding policies that have been set on the system, especially in your browsers and things like that. And you can actually use this tool to remove a lot of stuff once you configure the fix-it file, and you'll be able to drop it in here. It's not for the faint-hearted. You do need a bit more experience with this sort of stuff, but it is a very powerful tool nevertheless. And I still use this tool when I get someone with an infected PC and I want to take a look at the system. I'll quickly run this scan and I'll be able to tell sort of their habits, whether they've been downloading bad stuff and installing it on their system, and it will give me a general idea of what's happening. Once the scan is finished, it's going to give you a couple of files here, and you will see these files called FRST and additions, and this will give you a full breakdown of the system, tell you all what's on there and what's running, whether there's something suspicious on here. It will give you some good information. You do need to understand it a little bit, what you're looking at, but it is a very useful tool if you want to get into this sort of stuff and remove malware from people's PCs. Malware isn't so much of a bigger problem today in 2023 as it once was when we had Windows XP and Windows 7, but it's still useful to know. Next one is Kill 'Em All, and this is by Nick Shaw, and a very, very good piece of software. Basically, what this does is once you run this on a system, if your system is very heavily infected or it's got an infection on here which it won't let you do anything with the computer, you can run this and it will basically kill all processes on that system which are malicious and allow you to gain some sort of control of the computer, especially if you're getting pop-ups and nagging issues with malware. You can use this to gain control of your system. Next up is the Tech Tool Store. This is another great tool. If you're into the malware removal or cleaning PCs or generally trying to fix Windows, this tool is a must-have bit of kit. It's not a free tool anymore, but you do need to have a look at it. It is a very decent tool. It's got loads and loads of tools on here. It's probably the biggest collection of free technician tools that you can use on your system to help fix and repair Windows. And also you've got tools here that are going to do pretty much what we was talking about earlier. You can just put the check marks in the boxes to which ones you want to download, and then you can just hit them and it will download them and get them installed, and you can use them. So if you're doing some sort of remote support, or whether you want to quickly get access to files, you also see here we have a lot of system repair tools already inside here. There's tons of them in here that are going to help you fix Windows. Group policies here. You can see loads of different stuff, and it's quite useful if you're setting up systems or you're trying to remove malware and things like that. You've got UVK you can download straight from here, which is made by the same creator. Very powerful tool and a must-have bit of software in my personal opinion. If there is a tool that you don't have, or there's things that you want to add to this collection, you can do. You can create your own toolkit and add in your own tools, but there's so much stuff on here. It's going to be pretty much covering everything that you need in a toolkit. So there's a list of just some of the free security tools that I recommend you use and download in 2023. Very useful to have. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Just want to say a quick shout out to all my YouTube members who join my YouTube members group. I really do appreciate the support. I hope you have a great day, and I shall catch you in the very next video, or catch you on the Discord server. Bye for now.